On a scale of 1 to 10, how unputdownable is White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson? A solid 10. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Voke Tiffy. We're going to be talking about White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson today. Before I go deep into this review, I think I have a problem with the horror or psychological thriller genre because I don't know. And in my head, that voiceover that it's pretty trending on TikTok where the person say, "Is it me? Am I the drama?" I don't think I'm the drama. I don't think I'm the drama here because I cannot believe that human beings on earth that we've heard the stories over and over again. A rundown town, a shady house, a haunted house, but somehow people on these horror books, they are in denial. I don't know why. Because the signs are there. Everything is laid out plain that okay, you are in danger. This is a haunted house. This town is creepy. You have to get out of here. But people in this horror movie or horror stories, they just seem to be like, okay, yes, I have to go, but I don't have a choice. Yes, you have a choice. You do have a choice. First, your first choice as a human being is do everything as much as possible to survive. And I don't see that in horror books and movies. Why? Why is it? This will be Tiffany D. Jackson's first time dabbling into the horror genre. And she has said that this is something that she always wanted to do. And this is a part of writing that she really, really loves. White Smoke afforded her the opportunity to really explore that part of her. And this book was birthed during the pandemic. Besides being a horror fiction, this book can also be tagged as a contemporary fiction, young adult fiction, and also a psychological thriller. The story is told from Marigold's point of view using the first person narrative technique, and from the preface we can tell that there's an entity talking because she talks about how the house is hers and how she's never going to leave the house and how the town is bringing in new people to replace us. So it's like an entity talking, and it just gives you some chills at the beginning. From chapter one, we see the blended family, Anderson Green family, and they're moving into this new town with their three kids. Even though they're blended, you can actually see that this family had their issues that, or undiscussed issues that they were trying to just handle and patch. First, we see that Piper is picked. Well, first we see that Piper was only answering to her father, and the other two, Sam and Marigold, were answering to their mother. And when um when Raquel introduced the children as her children, Piper quickly says, "Oh no, I'm just your stepdaughter." And we just see that okay, there's actually a division in this family. So Marigold and her brother and Piper stands alone. And as this family moves into the town of Cedarville, they could already tell, which is actually my problem in these horror books. They could already tell that there's something utterly wrong with this town. But this family were determined to move into this new life because they felt like they got the jackpot. First, the mother got this residency, and it's called Grow Where You Plant Residency. The the town is trying to rebuild after some riots and all that. So the town was trying to rebuild. So they were bringing in new families to start afresh in this place. And the catch is that the houses were old, but they were going to revamp it, and the families get to stay for free. So even in as much as this is sketchy, this can also feel like oh a jackpot because you look at it, it might be like okay, this is actually legit. These are people who are rebuilding a town, and so what if I just go there and start a new life? Free house. The code there is free house. So I really do not blame them in that part, but I still blame them because they're moving in and the town is just run down. The neighbors are looking at them, staring at them, and the Nigerian in me will always like, okay, what's going on here? This town is somehow. But yes, the children actually noticed, but the parents were just willing to sweep it under the carpet, because parents are always like, oh, they're just kids, they don't really know anything, or they're just trying to reject the fact that they're going to be starting a new phase or a new life. So they're just trying to adjust. With time, they would get used to everything. So they were not really paying attention that enough, which was pretty annoying on the part of the parents. Because Piper talked about an imaginary friend, a friend that she was seeing, but the parents swept it as imaginary friend. This girl was already 10 years old, so she was already too old to have such friends. But the parents swept it aside. Marigold talked about the house being creepy. She talked about the hand in the shower. She talked about um, the creaking sound. She had dreams, but still, they just brushed her her fears and worries aside because she had had psychotic breaks in the past. So they were like, "Okay, are you okay, sweetheart? Everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry." Just kind of annoying. Okay, I'll brush you to the side. Way that parents do. Not until a lot of things started to go spiral out of control did the parents and the people realize that okay, we have to leave this place. In as much as this book was unputdownable, I liked it, especially the first part, the beginning part, but I have my reservations. Number one, which I have been saying ever since, I've been repeating, I sound like a broken record. Why will you move into a house that a basement, you're told that the basement is out of bounds, and you still move into the house? Why? It's just like you move into a new apartment and they say, okay, you can go anywhere in this house, but this door, you don't open the door. You begin to wonder what's behind this door. These people still moved into the house, and it was annoying. Also, I just have a problem with how these horror movies go and horror books go. Like, we know these stories all too well, and time again, people have experienced such things that, okay, we're going to run down a creepy town. The neighbors are distant from you. Even in this town, let me shock you, there are a lot of women than men. When Marigold got to school, she noticed that there were only few guys and the ladies were more. So the girls are even trying to like vie for attention from the guys because the guys are few. Then there's also a lot of tales about one thing or the other's haunted houses. People already whispering in the town about these things. No, you will still sad and there. Marigold, I have a love and hate relationship with Marigold because I felt like she should know better. First, where she was a teenager, and oh, you're moving to a new town, and this is when we're in a global village now because social media is everywhere. We have search engines to our disposal. So these two persons, so Marigold moves to this town without even checking or trying to find out what this town, the history of the town is about, or what this place is about. Nothing like that. So when she said it in the book that, oh, she was so engrossed with the move and everything going on in her life that she even forgot to check this cedar view they were moving into. And I was like, you didn't know before, Abby? Then Margaret annoyed me because of all the kids, she heard the stories more than the others. She was one who her friends Yusuf told about the hag that lived in their basement in their house, the all the creepy and weird things that were happening in the town. She knew about them, but still there was little or nothing she even did about it. Although she tried, but still I feel like she could have done more. And I didn't like the fact that her obsession with weed actually kind of rubbed me up the wrong way, if I'm being honest, because she was so obsessed with weed that she even started growing her own. I know that that's something which I know that yes, the kind of weed she was actually into was the one that removes the hallucination and all that. It's just the other type that relaxes you. Yes, but I'm like, okay, you don't have it now. Is it that deep that you have to go and plant it? And what was even more annoying was that she knew the stories of the houses, that the houses were haunted and the houses were not safe, but she still went on to start planting her weed in one of the houses that was abandoned. And I'm like, are these people? Is it that these people have a death wish that I don't know about? Because they are really annoying me right now in this book. And there was only a part that I read that Marigold was talking, and I was like, "Oh, so you know this before?" Here's what she had to say. Okay, so maybe I am in the middle of some super cheesy horror movie. I have watched enough of them with Sammy to know the drill. We have all the basic elements. Family moves to a new town and into an airy house with a dark past. And I'm like, I read this and I said, oh, so you know this, and you entered into this this creepy house because the house was obviously creepy. I don't know how I'm going to stay in a house where I'm having nightmares. There's a crinkled or wrinkled hand in the shower. I woke up one night and I saw a man in my room. I had to run out. And I'm like, "Hey, Marigold, let your parents think you're crazy. You just have to speak out. Speak about these things before it gets out of hand." And Marigold was like, oh, they'll think I'm crazy. I'm not going to talk about it. Then the end of this book actually disappointed me. Okay, this might be okay. Spoiler alert! If you don't want spoilers, you can skip or stop watching now. But it's not really a spoiler, Sha. But it's not really a spoiler though. Marigold, I didn't like the end of the book. I just wanted to be supernatural, like everything going on in the house to be supernatural. I feel like not everything should have natural explanations, but it I found at the end the twist was actually that the book is not really a horror fiction. It's actually also a psychological thriller. So the things in the house were not actually cause of supernatural causes. They're actually from natural reasons. So there was actually someone in the house in the basement living with them. So I didn't like that part. I'm like, okay. Uh, and I feel like there were a lot of things left unhandled or unsaid. People in the town, the prison, there's just a lot of things left like that. And I was hoping for some sort of solution that would happen in the end of the book, but that's life. Sometimes there's really no solution to some kind of things. Sometimes we just have to taking a deep breath and re-strategize and approach again. So I just assume that okay, maybe someday. So I'll just draw my own conclusion to the end for the end of the book. There are a lot of themes in this book that borders on forgiveness, second chances, blackness. I love the blackness in this book because Marigold is talking about different oils, she's talking about sage, she's talking about weed, and you just learn a lot of things about black people and the kind of the oils she used for her hair, how she took care of her hair, her mother. It was just really nice. I like that part of the book a lot because it made me smile. Then racism, and I feel like fans, this is said a lot about around this book, fans of Get Out will love this book a lot. um Not really. I won't say that. But is it a good book? Of course, yes. It's a good book. Talks if you like stories that touch on racism and really important subjects, you might enjoy this book. I learned a lot from reading this book, and I think you will too. And one thing I really learned is I wrote it down. How to know your house is haunted. So we might know this. You might, if you know, some people who are in tune with horror movies, horror books, might know what to do if your house is haunted. Me, from reading some of and watching movies, I can tell the signs that okay, something is going on here. But some people might not know. So for the benefit of those who do not know, how to know your house is haunted. In this book, Marigold actually Googled how to know your house is haunted because things were already getting out of hand. So she Googled it. And I learned two. First is unexplained. First is unexplained noises or smell. So is there that creak in your house? Something is creaking when you're in the living room. Something is creaking in your room, or there's this weird smell, maybe a weird perfume that just whiff past your nose. Something bad. You should know that your house might be haunted. Then movement of inanimate objects. Maybe I kept my lip gloss on this table, and the following morning, because even though I place things, different places, odd places sometimes, I know that okay, I kept my lip gloss close to my shoe. So when I'm looking for this lip gloss, I hope to find it close to that shoe. But if I don't find it close to my shoe, I find it on top of the table with the cap off, then I know that my house is haunted. Another one is extreme cold or hot spot. I didn't know this one before. I actually read another book, The Thing Between Us, a book that utterly confused me. They also talked about cold spots in that book. Then now they're talking about cold and hot spots in this white smoke as well. And I'm like, okay. Then we have strange animal behavior. Africans or Nigerians know this a lot. Extreme strange animal behavior. Things are not coincidence. So when animals start barking, when some kind of things at night, animals are just barking and all sorts of things are just happening. Like nature is revolting because there's something strange happening. You should look out for those signs. Then feeling of being watched. So this one happened a lot when you're in the bathroom, where you lather soap over your eyes and you feel like, okay, someone is watching you right now, and you open your eyes and you want to run outside. This one happens to a lot of us. Sometimes we make it up in our head, but do not just brush aside your concerns and say, oh, it's just my head. Your house might be haunted. Then electrical problems. When I say electrical problems, I started laughing. I said, okay, maybe all the houses in Nigeria might be haunted because we have electrical problems and our light is actually epileptic. But if you're having electrical issues that every time your fuse box is going off or something, your lights are twitching like in horror movies, your house might just be haunted. So look out for the signs. And I'm glad to have enlightened you on this today. I do hope that you pick up White Smoke and read. Tell me if you actually like the end like I did, because I know that you actually enjoyed the entire journey to the end, because the book is it draws you in. It really draws you in. But that end, I felt like she just dropped us like a hot potato there. Like, okay, yeah. So this book is played with, I forgot to add that this book is played with Bible verses, and some people might find some things rather sensitive while reading a book, but overall it's a good book and it's perfect for young adults and adults alike. So I do hope that you get to read White Smoke, and I do hope that you leave a comment below. And if you have read this book, please let me know if you like that end and what you think of Marigold and what you think of my reservations, because I had a lot. I felt like they should have known better. And if you enjoyed this video, I always forget to say this. Yes, I need subscribers, I need likes, I need comments. I love them. I love to see these things. So please fire away. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Okay? Thank you. Until next time, to take good care of yourself. Goodbye.